What's up, everybody? Today we're going to spy on the top Etsy shops, as it is always fun and we can always learn a few things from them. What to do, what not to do. I'll mention the things that I would not do in their shops, and I will mention the things that I would do if I were them, and we will find some good things and some bad things. We're going to be using the E-Rank competition function. This used to be a free feature, but now it's a paid feature. If you guys like E-Rank, go ahead and buy it. I'm not an affiliate, but I do like to use it for research like this. So let's get started. I went to the handmade page because I think that's all. I mean, that it encapsulates a lot of Etsy, what Etsy should be, aside from POD. You would think that, I mean, everything would be handmade, but we're just going to use the handmade list that E-Rank has curated, just so we can, keep it super Etsy. That way we won't see any industrialized things that were designed but not made by them, etc. Just fine. Or we're still going to see POD on this list, but it'll be more of an Etsy feel, if you will. Just bear with me here. So I took a look at a few of these shops so far. I think I want to look at this one again with you guys. This one is the seventh biggest one in handmade. It's the first one on the list that isn't from the US. So I just want to look at that. And the first thing that we can point out when we're looking at these massive shops that are on Etsy's or are on the top sellers list that E-Rank has, it's always massive inventory sizes. It's always over 1,000, multiple thousands of listings, to the point where it's like, once you are starting to hit so many listings that it's almost like a matter of time. It's only a matter of time when you start to pull in big numbers and big sales, because you have so many, nets in the water. It's just almost statistically impossible to do bad on Etsy with a crap ton of listings. If you know kind of what you're doing with SEO and everything else, if you just dump listings onto Etsy, I mean, it works. Not saying to do that. I'm always saying quality and quantity, not either or over each other. But it's a big thing, having a ton of listings does boost you. And a lot of shops that I coach and work with, a big thing is just, hey, increase your listing amount, whether they be duplicates or not, just increase them. So you'll always see this trend with the big shops here, but I do have a trend breaker coming up in a few minutes, so definitely keep watching. One thing that I would do differently with this shop is I would change the shop announcement at least once a week. This one is 2 years. It's been 2 years, guys. Come on. Is this all still up? Is current? I don't know. Probably is, obviously. But yeah, it just gives your buyers a better sense of like, okay, this person is around, Obviously, that doesn't matter for them though. They're still they're still a top seller in handmade. Actually, good question. What are these? Digital clip art, digital stamps, and digital papers. Okay, it's just straight up SVGs and clip art. Another thing that I would not do if I was them. Obviously, they shouldn't take my advice because they're working just fine. But I would not use buy 20 get 10 off in the title like that. Maybe I would put it in the thumbnail, because I mean that is a very drawing aspect of something. Maybe that offer gets taken a lot in this shop, and that really boosts their average order value and sales, etc. However, it's just going to screw up your SEO to have something that's totally unrelated. The next one being the SKU number. You guys can see the SKU number at the end. And a lot of shops do this because the shop is so massive that they need SKU numbers. I understand that. However, Etsy has a function to add an SKU inside for your own internal use. What I am not aware of myself personally, however, because my inventory, I have only like 50 SKUs, and just by judging by the thumbnail and the title, I know what the product is when I'm fulfilling orders. I don't know this personally, but maybe the reason shops do this, put it in the title and not in the internal way, is because it doesn't show up when you're looking at your orders, in the orders. Maybe the SKU doesn't show up like it should. However, it does for me, on my POD shop. I see the SKU. That's still totally irrelevant to me because it goes to Printify. However, I don't know if there's no way around this, but if there is, that's easy. Do not put your SKU in the title. That is also just confusing the algorithm and just, it's just totally irrelevant. You want only relevant things in your title. The title is for search engine purposes. Um, in my opinion, obviously it's for search engine purposes, but in my opinion, search engine purposes first, human titles second. Honestly, people shop with their eyes. I am not super concerned about making human titles. However, I am concerned, I always make 3 to 4 word search term phrases. Yeah, so it ends up being human, yes, but it's for the algorithm. And buy 20 get 10 off, nobody's putting that in the title. Nobody's putting that in the title. So I wouldn't do that. Whatever. There's situations where you're gonna and you will. Whatever. 70% off though every listing. I like that tactic. That's nice. Another thing I would do differently is that's about it. Looks like they're doing good. Really cool, cute, and whatever. That's down to see they hid their sales too. I talked about that in a different video. They hid their sales. But yeah, tons of listings. You'll always recognize that in giant shops. So let me show you this one that kind of blows that out of the water. That usually what I mentioned about having a lot of listings is totally applicable. However, it's not always true. This shop right here proves that. There's plenty of others that prove that, but this shop, oh my gosh. This shop started in 2020 and they're on the list for the top sellers of top 100 sellers in handmade. So it's a face mask shop, started in 2020, only do face masks, and there's only 35 listings. Wow. So this shop probably killed it from day one, probably like in March, started making face masks, did not hesitate, started right up, started going with it. Most of them are like $2 and $3, so they had the price thing covered. They're like, boom, yep, got that. They even have the super, super breathable masks for people that don't care at all and just want to breathe properly. I like that. They have masks for everybody, I guess. So this one didn't hide their sales, which is interesting. And honestly, it's not a really big deal because face masks are, can't get too crazy with face masks unless this was a POD shop that were putting like different designs on the face masks. This doesn't really matter that they didn't hide their sales. Still, though, I would hide the sales. Let's take a look because I bet you it's going to be interesting. So, looks like this listing here is what we see the most of. That one. Face mask with filter pocket and nose clip. Washable is a big word for face masks. So is the filter and the nose wire. Wow, yeah. So this shop must have killed it. That's wild that it's on the top sellers list and started in 2020. There's a ton of these shops out there right now that just like totally took advantage of the mask in demand on Etsy, which I should have jumped on it too. I was just too focused on my stuff. A lot of you guys did jump on it. So good for you. But this is a shop that definitely defies that more listings, the better, mindset. So let's take a look at another one. This one's going to be completely random that I have not looked at. Let's see what the Indian silk and more. Okay. So it's going to be silk for like sewing and stuff and making saris or whatever, maybe. Let's see. Fabric shop. And then see here again, 1,300 listings. So, okay, it's not a fabric shop. It's a dress shop. And they got some pretty cool dresses for a pretty decent price. So I can imagine that's why it's selling a lot. They haven't updated their shop announcement. Not the end of the world, but I always say to do that once in a while because it shows Etsy and Etsy customers that like, hey, I'm active in my shop. Super, super short title there. Let's see. Let's keep going. Super short title there. See, there's a few anomalies on Etsy where the traditional rules somehow don't apply to the shop and they blow up anyway. Mostly because of conversion rate and click through rate because of the uniqueness of the product. So like this product and this shop probably sells so much that it just pulls them straight through the search results. Because look, I always talk about how Etsy favors shops that ship quickly. And that's true. There's so much evidence to support that. But there are other factors that can outweigh that kind of stuff. And obviously, this shop sells so much that it doesn't matter that it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get to you. That's how many freaking dresses this shop is selling. So there's a lot of anomalies in these top shops where you go and look at it and you try to apply the traditional set of wisdom and traditional set of knowledge, and it doesn't really apply. I would definitely update my shop policies if the last time was 2016. It should be updated like every 6 months, just so your buyers feel confident and feel good about the policies they read. Let's do one more shop and then we'll see what else we can find after. The Sage Goddess. No country listed. I've seen that name before though. Maybe I've seen them on Instagram. Okay, yes, I have. It's a stone store. I've totally seen this shop on Instagram, and holy crap, they only have 28 listings. they must have they must be doing large updates and then selling out. That could be what's happening because I really can't imagine they're in the top selling. They're in, let's see, number 85 out of handmade on Etsy. I can't imagine they're selling this much with only 28 listings. I really cannot believe that. Unless like 2 or 3 of these listings are like the only things that are purchased on Etsy when searching for that keyword, if you get my drift. Let's look at, okay, I was thinking they had an Instagram. Maybe they don't link it here. They probably do large drops of products, and then when they sell out, that's it. And they have that exclusivity aspect of it. But this is definitely an anomaly to be on this list with this many listings and just that many stones. So this is really interesting for me to see. I'll have to do some more research, or maybe I won't. But that's super weird. See, we're seeing a lot of different, situations, different industries, and different, just things happening with this top seller list. You would think, right? You would assume that maybe all of these shops on this, like, just straight up top seller categories would be like, they'd all be following the same rules, etc. And you can go and look at them, find all of the like the commonalities and then apply them to your shop. But that's not the truth. That's not what happens. There are a lot of, things that do apply to every single shop. But because the main takeaway from this video, you guys, is because there are so many ranking factors involved on Etsy outside of SEO, that it means that you can succeed from just 1 or 2 of those factors pulling you through search results and getting you tons of visibility. But if you practice all of the things that I talk about on my channel, and you have a killer product similar to these guys and could pull yourself up to these ranks with these guys, and you apply everything on my shop, then you're probably going to be the top seller on Etsy in history, period. I don't know, because a lot of these shops here, their products pulled them through to popularity. And it wasn't a matter of grinding hardcore and going and learning a ton of different things and then applying it and then becoming successful, like a lot of us have experienced, like myself. I did not just like rise to popularity on Etsy based off of my products. It was hard work, learning SEO, learning the strategy of it all, behind it all, and working really hard with good products. Of course, you have to have good products. But some of these sellers, I'm not saying all of them, definitely not. I'm sure some of them, I guarantee all of them hustle hard, period. But I'm talking about, on Etsy. Did they struggle on Etsy from day one and then had to work hard to get to where they are at? Maybe not. Maybe a lot of these shops did just happen to rise to the ranks because of their product. And not all ranking factors is going to be the end of your day or the beginning of your day in terms of your career on Etsy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And join my email list in the description below. I'm releasing an Etsy ads success course later this month. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.